Good morning. You're watching Metro Minutes.
Here's a look at what we're working on today. The infamous R&B singer is out of jail, but his legal troubles are far from over. What everyone is saying about R. Kelly's arrest.
And it's election day. Chicagoans across the city are heading to the polls. Today, the city will choose its new mayor, alderman, and more.
Plus, the Academy Awards still have people talking. The winners, losers, and controversies of this year's Oscars. Coming up, Metro Minutes starts right now. Hello, I'm Alexis Carpello.
And I'm David Chazanoff. Today is February 26th. R. Kelly left Cook County Jail less than 24 hours ago after posting bail. The R&B artist faces 10 counts of aggravated sexual abuse of 4 victims. 3 of the alleged victims are minors. Kelly is pleading not guilty to the charges. Kelly spent the weekend in jail. He was not able to post the $100,000 bond until yesterday. This all started with a documentary called Surviving R. Kelly. The documentary covered allegations against him. And one of Kelly's accusers in the documentary, Asante McGee, was extremely happy to hear about Kelly's charges.
I started crying. It was tears of joy to know that we finally got an indictment after, 2 decades of him getting away with the allegations. It was a joyous moment for me.
R. Kelly's court day is for later this month. There still is a big push not to play his music on the radio.
Turning to politics, today is Chicago's mayoral election day. This year, the election has the largest number of candidates ever, 14. Can you believe that? The election is wide open as Tony Preckwinkle, Bill Daley, and Lori Lightfoot are tied at 14% on the polls. More than 150,000 people went to the polls early. Besides the tight race for mayor, all the aldermanic seats are up for grabs. The tightest races are the 20th Ward on the south side and the 44th Ward on the north side, where Wrigley Field is located. The polls close today at 7 p.m. The tightest race is for mayor. If no one wins at least 50% of the vote, then the top 2 candidates will square off on April 2nd.
The city of Chicago is continuing to put more police officers on the street. 200 new officers just graduated from the academy. The induction ceremony was held at Navy Pier. Mayor Emanuel says it's all part of his Protect Chicago plan to cut down on crime in the city.
Some of those new officers will be patrolling parks, and there are some big changes ahead for Ogden Park.
That's right, a new track and field will be built. Metro Minutes reporter Megan Daniello is working on that story. Here she is now with the latest. Megan?
Thanks, guys. Ogden Park is getting a much-needed makeover. There has been $1 billion of investments from neighborhoods and private sources, and that's all to increase the Chicago park system.
David Moore, the 17th Ward Alderman, and Mayor Rahm Emanuel teamed up to build a new track and field for Ogden Park. The mayor has strong beliefs for this new track and field.
So this is because the Park District worked with your alderman, we all came together, and the change took a little longer, but it's going to stand the test of time.
Not only do the people in charge have high hopes, but the students hope that this track and field will bring a stronger and safer community.
So I think that's great. That there's even money going funded towards places in the south side like that.
Since 2011, there have been 1,000 acres of parks made to expand Chicago's park system.
We should absolutely be funding more into the lower income and quote-unquote unsafe neighborhoods, because then it can create safe pockets within those neighborhoods, which can help grow the safety of the neighborhood and the sense of community, which can again help with the safety.
The facility will support football, soccer, and track. There will be an 8-lane track and have lights to extend visibility and playtime. Because of this field, the benefits for the community will be endless.
The renovations are already underway. They expect to be finished by August, and that's just in time for track and field and football. I'm Megan Danello for Metro Minutes. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Megan. Owner of the Avalon Regal Theater announced yesterday Chicago native Kanye West will invest $1 million into the renovation. The historic South Shore Theater opened in 1927, but it's been vacant for nearly a decade. West first announced his involvement in September. He tweeted he and others would restore the theater. The owner hopes to open the Avalon Regal Theater later this year. Still ahead on Metro Minutes, Girl Scout cookies and sea otters? Really?
And a common household product that's also found in your favorite alcoholic beverages. Weed killer wine? Yep, that's right. There could be weed killer in your favorite wine or beer. We'll have that story, plus weather a little later. Stay with us.
We know everyone likes Girl Scout cookies, but do you like $540 worth of cookies? A man in Greenville, South Carolina sure does. Let's take a look. Emerson and Maya were standing outside selling cookies when a man approached them and bought $40 worth of cookies. The man then came back and said, "Pack up all your cookies. I'm taking them all so you guys can get out of the cold." He spent $540 on cookies just so the girls could escape the 34-degree weather. He surely earned his spot in Emerson and Maya's heart forever.
It's a great story. Here's something you might want to add to your bucket list. The Shed Aquarium is now offering playtime with a sea otter. You can interact with a sea otter, make their food, and more. Tickets for adults and children are around $100 and $64.95 for members. That includes express entry to all exhibits. Tickets are currently sold out, but you can head over to our website to sign up for the newsletter to be notified when tickets go on sale.
You might want to reconsider having that glass of wine or beer after work. Now, in many cases, there are traces of a weed killer in both of them, and unfortunately, the popular kinds. A research group has tested 5 wines and 15 beers. They found traces of weed killer in most of the drinks. That includes brands like Coors Light, Miller Lite, Corona, Heineken, and Samuel Adams. Researchers say the levels found are not really dangerous, but they are still concerning because of health risks.
Man, I don't drink beer that much, but I gotta stay away from it right now.
I know, hopefully they fix that soon.
Coming up next, Spike Lee finally wins his long overdue Oscar for BlacKkKlansman.
His speech covered Black history and the 2020 election.
Even though Trump was never mentioned in Spike Lee's speech, he seemed to catch the president's attention, who aired his feelings via Twitter Monday morning. We have all the details coming soon.
The Oscars caused some controversy with political and race this Sunday. Also, history was made at the Oscars with the different races of the award-winning nominees.
Love was also in the air between Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper during their performance. And Donald Trump took to Twitter to address a few comments that were made about him at the Oscars. Here's Taylor with more on these hot topics at the Oscars.
Thanks, guys. Everyone is still talking about the Oscars that aired this past Sunday. It contributed greatly to Black History Month, setting a new record for the most individual Black winners for numerous categories. These categories include Best Actor, Costume Design, Production Design, and much more.
Let's all mobilize. Let's all be on the right side of history. Make the moral choice between love versus hate. Let's do the right thing. You know I had to get that in there.
Spike Lee won his first Oscar. He has been directing films for over 30 years and finally won his first Oscar for his screenplay, A BlacKkKlansman. It was nominated for 6 awards, including Best Directing, Best Picture, and Best Supporting Actor. Lee was awarded honorary Oscar back in 2015, but this was his first competitive award. In his award-winning speech, he took a swipe at the President Donald Trump. Trump decided to respond via Twitter, tweeting that Spike Lee cannot read. He also tweets that he is the only president that has done so much for the Black community. Lady Gaga had one kind of a night. She took home an Oscar for Best Original Song for her song Shallow. Shallow was written for the film A Star is Born. Her performance with Bradley Cooper took viewers by storm. The pair played lovers in the film and decided to take things further off camera.
They gotta stop hiding that.
I seen the sparks. I just was like, oh my gosh, the butterflies.
Yeah, I just can't get enough of them.
Yeah, there's so many tweets saying that they wanted to kiss and it just didn't happen. It's just so funny. There was also some controversy too of Green Book, right?
Oh yeah, so with that, it's just ridiculous. They were saying that they had only got the perspective through the white man's view, but they never really reached out to the Black man's family to ask like what was going on between them. And I honestly think that's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not right, especially when you get the family involved and they're upset about it. That just doesn't leave a good lasting taste in anyone's mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they would have told Don Shirley Jr.'s story to the truest extent.
Yeah.
Deep freeze, 50-mile-an-hour wind, 50 degrees and sunny. The weather continues to surprise us with its unpredictable up and down temperatures.
Let's go to Kayla Zelens to see what we're looking at for the week. Kayla?
Thanks, guys. I know we're all waiting for spring, but this cold weather isn't going away anytime soon. It's not quite time to hang up your winter coats just yet. Let's take a look at our current temps. So we do see a little bit of snow on our way, and then today we're looking at a high of 25 with 13 mile-per-hour winds. So snow is definitely likely today, but it's just a little flurries, so there's little to no accumulation. We're also let's take a wider look at our current area temps. So we're mostly in the teens and 20s on this map, 14 in Waukegan, 13 at O'Hare, 22 in Chicago, Midway, and 22 in Gary, Indiana. So it looks like our 20s are towards the south and our teens are up towards the north. Overall, pretty average across the board. So let's take a look at what's going on later in the week with our 5-day forecast. So we have Wednesday, we're looking at some clouds with a high of 36 and a low of 16. Thursday, the clouds continue to stay with a high of 29 and a low of 20. But Friday, it looks like we do have some sun peeking out with a high of 32 and a low of 26. But soak in that sun while you can, because Saturday, the weather is plummeting again with some snow with a high of 29 and a low of 7 degrees. On Sunday, that sun peaks right back out, and we are sitting at 16 degrees with a low of 9 degrees. So it seems like this weather is just teasing us a little bit with the spring. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely ready for springtime.
Yeah, it's so frustrating constantly dealing with this.
It is.
Thanks, Kayla. We have Kendall Hyde here with us today to give us the breakdown with sports. Kendall, is any of that big baseball money coming our way?
I hope it comes my way. White Sox fans, I have some good and bad news for us today. Manny Machado is officially signed, but not with the Southsiders. He will be taking his talents to San Diego. The Padres signed Machado to a 10-year, $300 million contract last week. The contract was $50 million more than what the White Sox had previously offered. They wanted to get Manny for 10 years, $250 million plus incentives. The contract makes Machado the highest paid free agent in American sports history and only the second highest contract behind Yankee slugger Giancarlo Stanton's 13-year, $325 million contract extension signed 2 years ago. And New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft was at a Florida massage parlor the morning of the AFC title bout against the Kansas City Chiefs. Kraft was seen in the police surveillance cameras on the afternoon of January 19th and the morning of January 20th, allegedly paying money for sexual acts. Kraft said he denies all accusations, and Kraft said, quote, "That would be news to me. It's hard for me to talk about rumors, especially the false ones." And hopeful #1 draft pick and possible Bulls future star Zion Williamson suffered a gruesome knee injury while playing on Wednesday. Williamson hulked out of his Nike shoes and gave everyone a scare. Nike even reached out to Williamson to say sorry. The Chicago Bulls hurt their chance at even getting Williamson with the upset over the Boston Celtics as they look to show everyone they don't need to tank in a 126-116 shootout. And in other sports news, the Knicks snapped their 18-game Madison Square Garden losing streak and got a shout-out from Spike Lee at the Oscars. Baseball free agent star Bryce Harper is being linked to the Dodgers once again this offseason, and the Blackhawks fell short in their comeback against the Stars, losing 4-3. And finally, the Bears released kicker Cody Parkey on their linebacker Khalil Mack's birthday last week. I think this all four of us should start stretching so we can start playing some sports and getting some of this money they got out there.
Yeah, thanks, Kendall. That's one heck of a birthday present for Khalil Mack and Bears fans.
I'm sure he'll say, no, we don't want him to go.
Well, that just about does it for us today. I'm David Chasino.
And I'm Alexis Carpello. For Kayla's Lens and Weather, Kendall Hyde for Sports, and all of us here at Metro Minutes, have a good day.